Why, hello everybody. Hope you guys are, I hope you have your patience pants on, because like I've been trying to tell you guys, you know, this is a developmental rocket. We've seen enough static fires, we've seen enough hops, we've seen enough of how this prototyping phase works to know that there is no schedule, there is nothing is assured, this is a developmental vehicle. So we're waiting. You guys are waiting very patiently. I'm kind of patiently. I'm fully aware. We're waiting, and we will be waiting, but we have milestones to hit. There's milestones that we're waiting for. You guys really just were adamant about me streaming nothing, apparently, because so far there's still some milestones that need to be hit before we see this thing launch. We don't have any for sure clue of when. The launch window, we still have about 5.5 more hours of launch window opportunities, but we are expecting to see crew head back to the pad. One of the biggest things is the flaps are still strapped, and the flaps cannot be strapped when when it flies, so they'll need to be extended. That has to be done manually. We are expecting to see a crew head back out relatively soon. I just wanted to give you guys my update because I know that you guys wanted to hear what's up. So we don't, I mean, someone says, I'm such a fraud. That's a good one. Yeah, so just so you know, we've been up, I actually got a whopping amount of sleep. I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. The rest of our crew has literally not slept. We are tracking this as closely as humanly possible. We're fraudulently streaming our own everything. Yeah, no, yeah, I love you guys, though. So I just wanted to give you every information I know. So, yeah, crew is already heading back to the pad is what people are saying. So, yeah, that's why we aren't going live for you guys, because there is nothing to go live for. We didn't want to waste your time, yet people are just absolutely like, everyone's streaming. Yes, everyone is streaming, so why do you need me? It's just like, why would you need me to make the same videos that everyone else is making? I'm here to cover a launch, not the crew lift. There's awesome feeds. NASA Spaceflight, of course, is kicking butt. They have an awesome coverage. Of course, Lab Padre has their 24-hour live stream. We were hoping to not sit in the sun all day until it's time. We'll still probably go live about T-minus 2 hours is when we're planning. When we think we're about 2 hours out, we're gonna try and go live. We have not gotten to that point yet. So, yeah. So, how is everybody? Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. So, let's see here. So, yeah, how is? Well, we probably will just leave the live feed up for you guys. A friendly reminder: our camera there's no one at the camera. Our vantage point, we are beaming it wirelessly back to us, so there is no crew. None of our personnel in the exclusion zone, of course, as I would really hope everyone knows by now to not mess around with exclusion zones and stuff. But just for a little update here, what we're expecting to see today, guys, is a 50-meter tall, 165 feet tall, 9 meters wide, 30 feet wide, shiny stainless steel rocket liftoff using 3 Raptor full flow stage combustion cycle Raptor engines. Takeoff. Hit 12.5 kilometers in altitude. I'm pretty confident that will happen. I'm more confident that it will reach apogee than I am that it will happen today. So I'm like 90% confident it can reach apogee. I'm like 80% confident right now because I think, you know, we have 5.5 hours left in the window. It's really hard to know when this will actually happen. So. Yeah, and of course, you know, we all hope it makes it up to apogee, and then after that it's going to do its belly flop maneuver. Once it hits that belly flop, the tail down maneuver, that will be the landing opportunity, and they'll have to relight the engines, and that will be insane. So I'm sitting here 5 miles away from this thing. When it happens, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. It will be the most ridiculous thing. Should we do a little camera tour? So we've got one of them. We're not ready to go on live yet, but but we do have several camera views for you guys. We'll have 2 tracking cameras, and all these are 0 latency. They're plugged in physically to a hardware switcher, so everything will be synced. We have perfect synchronization. We have audio that's close for you guys, so you can hear venting and things like that. Well, actually, that's what might have got bonked in the middle of the night. So, yeah, we've got you guys covered, I promise. So let's get through. So that's what we're kind of expecting to see today. Did you want to show the? Yeah. So okay, so here's a couple of our cameras. Do we actually have all 3 of the others up? Okay, so here is our static camera. This is what's going to be pulled away as soon as it clears this shot. We're going to go to this shot. Punch it, Andrew. Woo! And that's being shot in 6K, 60 frames a second. So we'll have beautiful slow-mo 6K footage for you guys of that shot. That will be gorgeous. Then we're going to punch into one of the 2 tracking cameras. Let's go less tight tracking camera. Boom, that's at 1200 millimeter equivalent, 4K, 120 frames a second. Then, depending on how it's working with the telescope, we're gonna try punching in to this baby, which will be, that's at, is it 2000 equiv or 4000 equiv? 2000 equivalent, is it? Yeah, we're at about 2000 millimeters equivalent, shooting 4K, 120 frames a second again. We will have you guys covered, and that thing, yes, that thing will absolutely be tracking. We will have beautiful footage for you guys live, and also unbelievable slow-mo footage, of course, thanks to the help with Cosmic Perspectives, our good friends Mary Liz and Ryan Chalinsky, Mary Liz Bender and Ryan Chalinsky. And then, of course, our friends at S Padre IL2, Space Padre, they will be helping with tracking cameras as well. So we'll have great footage, and we'll be able to edit it all together after the fact, too, assuming that the launch, whenever the launch happens, we'll have footage of it for you guys, and it'll be awesome. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Trust me, this has been a long physical journey and mental journey to be able to make this so. Elon Dude in our Discord wants to know, what are the chances of a crater? I've increased my odds from 10% of it, 90% chance of a crater basically, or 90% chance of failure. I'm actually more confident now. So that was 10% chance of actually full-blown success, landing, soft landing, everything. I'm now to the point of thinking this is actually, I'm feeling like 15 to 20% chance of success. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a rocket doing things that have never been done before, like a belly flop controlled descent through the atmosphere. That's one thing. Engines relighting, that's a whole nother thing. Flip maneuver, that's crazy. Soft touchdown using multiple Raptor engines hasn't been done before. 3 or 4 big, crazy milestones. So let's get through a couple of your guys' things here. We'll catch up on these, and then what we'll probably do, as soon as we know for sure, pad and crew is back at the pad. So we'll get through some of your questions quick, and then we're going to just leave this feed up, I think, for you guys, or pull it down, because I don't want to stream nothing for you guys. I want to stream action. So we got lots of memberships. Thank you guys so much from Rojasher and Daniel, and we've got Sean. Thank you so much. We've got Daniel 2. We have see, this is from Yama Narnar. Here's $5 so you can buy some gear for better streams. We have about 40 grand worth of gear here, probably 30 to 40 grand worth of gear. At this point, we're short of a satellite truck is literally about the next step that we could do to do better, and then we wouldn't have the view that we have either. So this is literally about the best solution we can have figured out so far, sans renting a helicopter, I guess, at this point. So so thank you. Where am I? We've been right here, up literally, quite literally, most of us all night. Yeah. So woo. We're here. We just didn't want to waste your time with nothing. That was my mentality, but apparently people didn't like that mentality. So sorry for that. Jaxie, stayed up in New Zealand hoping to see us live at 4:30 a.m. here now, and think it might be time to catch some sleep. Thanks. See, and that's you right there is why I actually didn't want to go live. I wanted my notifications and Twitter and all that stuff to be an alert of like, hey, something is happening. It's worth tuning in now. And now I'm nervous that I ruined that. But that's why I think we might actually pull the feed down so that we go live when there's stuff happening to act as a good indicator, a good notification for you guys. From Ben Common, thank you so much for your membership. I really appreciate that. Martin, really appreciate the membership. This is from Chaos, a membership from Chaos, a membership from Klaus and Maria. Thank you guys so much. And from Michael, really appreciate it. And you guys, don't forget, members and Patreon, we will have exclusive live streams for you guys. We love the support. It really means a lot. It's what allows us to be able to do this. You know, every day out here between paying the team and paying for all the stuff we're paying for, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I do appreciate you guys sticking around and your support. It really, it physically makes this happen. This would not happen without you guys. So thank you. Matt membership, I really appreciate that. Technical Fool, the stream lives. Here we are. Technical Fool, long time coming, but we are here, my friend. This is from KMH, a new membership. Thank you so much. Toxic Betos, thank you so much again for the membership. Thomas, thank you for everything. Tim, add Asper for Asper. Yes, absolutely, to the stars, my friend. Thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate that. Chaz Dude, thank you for saying hi. Chaz Dude, I appreciate that. Ill Inc., I'm here to cover a launch. Thank you, Tim. You're welcome, Ill Inc. Thank you for tuning in. That really means a lot. Let's see here. This is from Sander, a new membership. Thank you very much. Nathaniel, let's do this launch. So again, we are hoping, I mean, we have no information other than there's stuff happening on the pad right now. We're expecting, you know, there's 4 hours and 20 minutes left in the window. So we really will need to see crew off the pad by about 3 in order to make that happen. 3:30 local time. So we've got the local time pulled up there in the top right hand of your screen. We'll need it to be about then in order to do that. Yeah. From Cress, thank you so much. From Ukesh, hi Tim, I would love to see a success today, but just in case if serial number 8 goes boom today, how long will its twin brother serial 9 take to get ready? Honestly, I think serial 9 could roll out literally within days of whatever happens with serial number 8, assuming that the pad and infrastructure isn't gone. I think serial number 9 could literally head out within a few days, 2-3 days of the launch, and be ready to start beginning actual testing. You know, like cryo testing, wet dress rehearsal, static fires and stuff, imminent after that. I think there's a chance serial number 9, depending on what happens with serial number 8, depending on what happens with the infrastructure, there's a chance that serial number 9 could fly in December. That's my personal, just seeing everything out here, that's my personal bet. Right. NASA has a scheduled flight path of a WB-57 over Boca Chica between 2 to 4. That's actually a good sign. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a ton of sense. Yeah, that goes with my gut feeling that we're looking at the end of the window today, basically. Elder says, as a member, thank you very much. Chris Beecher, let's kick the tires and light the fires. Absolutely, absolutely. Musical Wolves, has it been tested if a belly flop is safe for humans to be in a Starship as it's happening and not get whiplash? Is a dummy in Starship to find out? You know, no dummy necessary. It'll never reach more than 2 Gs. The only weird thing is that it's a bit of a roller coaster ride, but it's a relatively low G maneuver. Declan Murphy from Flight Club, who's another person we need to thank. Of course, flightclub.io. You guys know Flight Club on Twitter. He does all the simulations and gets pretty darn accurate data on approximate flight profiles. His models are showing no more than really 2 Gs on descent at any time. Ascent likely today will reach well more than 2 Gs, maybe even closer to 3. But the landing thing, you don't need a test dummy to know the G forces. And as a matter of fact, the nose will experience less Gs than the tail because of the leverage of it, right? If they had rotating chairs, it'd be fantastic. I don't know if that's in the plans. We don't really know. I don't think human whiplash is of any concern. The landing portion still is a concern for a long time. I would need to see 100 successful landings before I even remotely thought that a human should be anywhere on there. Because think about how scary the Falcon 9 landings still are, and this is substantially higher pucker factor than that even. So, Cress says, thanks for all you and your team do. Tim, watching your videos with my son has sparked his earnest interest in the sciences. Much appreciated, Cress. That's what we love to hear. Honestly, it's just family involvement, family watching, learning, celebrating together, having something to look forward to, something to aspire to, something to dream about. This is it, baby. This is where it's at, And yeah, I really appreciate the support. So thank you, Crest, and thanks to your family for watching as well. So, Luan, thank you for the membership. Stephen Martin says, will you call out pointy end up, flamey end down on launch? Pointy end up, pointy end sideways, flamey end sideways on descent, pointy end down, flamey end down on maneuver, and pointy end up. So the pointy end down and flamey end up should never happen. It should never quite be like that. The nose should never really dip below the horizon. It might dip a tiny bit if they need to glide forward a little bit, create a little bit of a lift vector, but it likely will never. That should really never happen, but that's a good call. This vehicle is totally new, flying in a very strange orientation for a lot of it, so we might have to call out pointy end sideways, flamey end sideways before the landing maneuver. That's actually a really good idea. But we're not even gonna make the call yet because they're still doing pad operations today. So or for right now, not necessarily all day today, but right now they're showing pad operations. So we might. It's too early to probably call pointy end up, flamey end down, because what if the guy's up there on the lift, he or she decide to turn it on its side? I'm not ready to call the orientation of the vehicle until we're actually ready to launch. So that will be, that's going to be a big milestone on my end, is when the pointy end is up and the flaming end is down. That's why we're not even going to check it yet, because things could change. Hopefully they don't, but things really could change. Goat Pilot, that is a great name. Goat Pilot. What I would pay good money to see a goat fly like a Cessna or something like that. Just put a goat in a 152. Just see how it goes, right? I bet he could do something. I'd pay good money for that. So thanks for your membership. This is from Michael Shia says, what are the proprietary parts of Starship? Flight, software, engine components, material sciences, literally all the above. There is so much intellectual property and proprietary things that SpaceX is doing on Starship that are still protected under ITAR law, so International Treaty and Arms regulations, because these are potentially weapon grade materials, weapon grade delivery systems, all of the above, as the history of rockets stems purely from a weapon system. It was a way to deliver warheads vast distances in a hurry, undetectable, unshoot-downable. That's how missiles and rockets began. That is the whole history of spaceflight, even in itself stems from being a war vessel, a war vehicle. And so in that same exact tone still today, all of that information, all that proprietary information is still heavily restricted in the United States. Other countries are a little more lax about it, but the United States does have ITAR restrictions. So yeah, all of it. I mean, material sciences, they're developing their own metals inside the Raptor engine. There's SX300 they were talking about for a little bit, SX500 in the turbine housings. There is their own 30X variant. The X is just an unknown variable. A 300 series stainless steel that they're working for the vehicle that will likely see its way in the teens for serial number. We might see. I don't know. Actually, I think they're going into 304L next, but I don't think the main variant will be until something like serial number 15 or something. So the avionics, everything about that there's intellectual property and it's proprietary things, and it's all developed in house. So yeah. All right, this is from Richard and Tracy. Thank you very much, Richard and Tracy. I appreciate you saying hi. Membership from Jason Lee. Thank you, Jason. For the helicopter, says Peter Dallas. Maybe someday. We actually are right here even. We're on the border of the exclusion zone for the TFR, the temporary flight restrictions. So you really couldn't get much better view than what we have, honestly. You get a little more elevation, but you can't really get much closer. So yeah, thank you, Peter. S. James, thank you very much for the Shiba Dog in combat position. From David Allen, thank you so much for your tip. I really appreciate it. Thomas Maufer, thanks for bringing Boca Chica to the world. You're absolutely welcome. Again, I am not the only one out here. You guys know this. You know there are unbelievably dedicated people that spend equal amounts of effort, time, love, energy into these projects as I do, as far as bringing you coverage. There's people that dedicate lives to this. Boca Chica Mary, of course, is the most dedicated human in the world, I think. She is out there filming hours on end every day to bring us coverage. So I'm just here temporarily. You know, we've had basically a week of bad sleep and all the above, you know, and setup and technical nightmares and being out in the bay in the middle of the night type of stuff to fix gear. You know, there is, of course, some dedication here, but there's dedication from a lot of really, really wonderful people. So, yeah. Let's keep going here from Paul. Paul Topping. Have you heard about YouTube's new HDR support? That would produce some really beautiful visuals for launches. Yes, there is HDR support. The HDR is one of those formats, so that it's really hard to know whose HDR is what and where and when and how. Plus, how does that mix in with other people's non-HDR? It's still just it's hard. I don't know. Yeah, Andrew, who works in production, gives it a thumbs down. Is it 2 thumbs down even? 1.5. 1.5. We got a 1.5 thumbs down from Andrew for at least for live HDR. I think when you have the right TV, the right settings, the right production in a movie or something, HDR can be brilliant. But right now, I think in live production, it's still way too much in its teens, and there's too many variables. Would you agree with that? Not worth it. Yeah. All right. This is from Jay Honey. Thank you for your tip or your membership. I appreciate that. And Logan, membership, I really appreciate that. Lucas, I agree with only going live when things are happening, which is ironic that we're currently doing exactly not that. But at this point, people wanted just every other thing that I'm seeing online is, why aren't you live to tell us what's happening? So this is my attempt at a quick update before we probably go off air and give you guys something pretty to look at. But yeah, the idea is I really did just want to pull it up right beforehand, but maybe this is better in the long run. We'll leave it up to you then, but I'll be tweeting like crazy before we go live before I rehost, so you guys do know. Tom, thank you for the membership. Mr. President, thank you, Tim, for bringing this to us. The effort you put into your content is really inspiring. Well, thank you, Mr. President. That is really funny to say. Thank you, Mr. President. That's a great name. I am jealous. Novacon, thank you for the membership. Same with Koala. Joshua Blick says, thanks for your great work, man. Respect you keeping the stream off if you think there's nothing to see. I mean, we could have gone live this morning at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I think. We were 100%. We could have gone live earlier, but we actually Andrew managed to close his eyes for 45 minutes, maybe? An hour? I thought that was important. I thought that would be more important than 45 minutes of lift cam, you know, at the time. So, yeah, I think energy, I think that's important. Sleep matters. Not totally burning out and getting sunburned. I realized this sun is just coming straight into us now, and we're going to have to sunscreen up, when we get off air. So, yeah, and I don't actually have a good way of doing that without plugging an HDMI to this to pull it off the thing.
It's a manual lens, right?
It's all the way down already. It's at 16. Yeah. From Neil Pez, thank you so much. I really appreciate the thumbs up. This is from Zendel. Is it true monies are in the capsule? I'm afraid I'm not. There's always money in the banana stand. I don't know about the walls being lined with capsules. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but the answer to that is definitely. Was that supposed to be monkeys? If that's monkeys, no. There's definitely no monkeys in any live anything anywhere near it, really, except for some wildlife nearby, unfortunately. Actually, yeah. I mean, there might be some, like, ants and stuff, and birds will get out of the way. They know better. The pad, though, is pretty vast, so yeah, no monkeys. Absolutely no monkeys. This, thank you very much, Tori, for the hippo character. I appreciate that. This is from Hunting, new membership, and Jonathan Ross, new membership. This is from Bob Jotman. Glad you were able to stay in Boca Chica with the delays. Yep, it was priority for me. This is also why I didn't come out in October, like people wanted me to, because we want to minimize the time here to be efficient, but also we don't want to miss it. So it's a balancing act. I've done this. I've been down to Boca Chica 4 or 5 times now. I forget even already before this. Last year, you know, in 2019, in total, I spent about 2 months in Texas for Starship stuff, Starhopper stuff. I'm familiar with what it's like to do this. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of careful planning and milestone-based planning. That is the key to anything Starship. In general, forget this type of stuff. It's milestones. Even today's launch time is milestone-based. We will have no idea when they launch until they at least clear the pad. Then that's a milestone. That it will be a milestone of like, oh, they could launch anywhere from about 45 minutes once the pad's totally clear. Once the pad's clear, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. Once there's venting on the ground, as soon as 45 minutes, like those are our approximations. Those are our milestones. Peter, thank you very much for the membership. Same with Jay Pratt, thank you very much. Jay Durazi, thank you very much for the rocket. That's awesome. Mark, what was that? Tomorrow chat's not working anymore? Dang it! Of course. Let me try one more. This is from a new membership from Chaitanya. That's where I was at. Can you try putting it up? Yep. We were having this problem the other day too. Everything's working great except for our chat system is being a little bit wonky right now, but we still love Colton. I think it's like my account is wonky. Did you get it? Oh, by the way, guys, we do finally have Drinkware. So this is our Future Martian Society drink cup thing. What is that called? What is this? A
bottle?
A bottle? Water bottle, probably? Yeah. Drink receptacle? Water holder? It's a water holder with a straw built in. I wanted to say straw, just for fun. Anyway, Future Martian Society. So this actually has the exact coordinates of where the current Plan A candidate landing site for Starship when it eventually gets to Mars. Obviously, this mission, we're still a long ways away from that. But they're currently planning to land at Arcadia Planatia, and that is the coordinates there of Arcadia Planatia. Yeah, these are brand new. We also have mugs and stuff, but we already ran out of mugs and Future Martian Society T-shirts, all the cool stuff. Yeah. We can actually, here, I can actually show you guys. Why don't I show you? Because we have a new web store called shop.everydayastronaut.com or everydayastronaut.com/shop. And yeah, we've got some cool stuff here for you guys, including the remake of the Aerospike engine. Today, of course, this shirt, the full flow stage combustion cycle, the entire collection is 10% off. So if you want to catch something, if you want to get a full flow stage combustion cycle shirt for you, your tiny baby human here, if you have a little tiny human, we've got onesies and stuff like that. Or we also have little human ones, like if you're a toddler, we've got toddler shirts and youth shirts. Yeah, we've got it all now. So shop.everydayastronaut.com or everydayastronaut.com/shop. But we've got you guys covered with some really next level merchandise, I think. And the return, one of my favorite shirts is back, which is the gold Aerospike shirt. This is limited edition. We did a run of this last year. We're doing a run of it this year because it's been a year, so we figure once a year is right to do a run of a shirt. So yeah, everydayastronaut.com/shop or shop.everydayastronaut.com. If you guys want to support what I do, and if you guys want to see more content from me and also just have some cool stuff for the holidays, stuff to send your family for gifts, yeah, here's the Future Martian Society stuff. So this is the water bottle that I have. But yeah, check it out. Support if you guys want. It really means a lot. So everydayastronaut.com/shop. Yeah. All right. From Chris, thank you for the pair character. Oh yeah.
Who are you on?
Chris Shank. So you don't even see my green things then, do you? I could try restarting this and just see if it fixes it. I don't know if we'll have to hit up Colton and see if. One second, guys. Man, I should get in the shade. We should both get in the shade. It is like cooking, and it is like, here, we could do this actually. This could be stand-up hour. stand-up time. Actually, I'm going to probably have to do this live anyway because you know I'm not going to be sitting down. Am I in the shade? Oh, shade. Yes. Yes, the shade. Okay, so I am locked out of Tomorrow Chat, actually, so. Okay. I don't even remember now because I can't read. I'm totally locked out. Do you want to just try logging in here quick and see if we can't fix it that way? Sorry, guys. We'll get back to you guys in a second here. Meanwhile, Shade City. Shade City. Yeah, so while we're working on that, why don't I give you guys, again, another quick rundown. At this moment, we are waiting. Andrew, do you want to punch up the pad real quick again? So we're waiting for the pad to clear. As you can tell, there is a cherry picker out there. And by the way, yes, these cameras are in focus. Unfortunately, because it is finally a nice warm day, we are seeing a lot of atmospheric distortion. So that is where you're seeing the rippling heat. I mean, just even looking out over the parking lot and stuff here, I see crazy amounts of atmospheric distortion. So unfortunately, the beautiful weather also brings with it a lot of atmospheric distortion. So it'll be great though once it clears the pad. You know, we're up high enough that the atmospheric distortion will you know, almost dissipate immediately because it's really at ground level where that happens. So yeah, so it should get better. Try undoing the keyboard. I almost think the keyboard thing, just pull it off. Just pull it straight off. Yep. I feel like sometimes that thing messes up or something. But yeah, so the shots will get clear once the vehicle leaves the pad. But yeah, atmospheric distortion is nasty today. Look at that. I mean, that's not good. That is a lot of heat distortion. It is warm though. It is a whopping, what is that, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what, like 19 Celsius or something. That's just me guessing, 18 or something. I don't remember. Something around there. So yeah, it's a beautiful day, but we are of course waiting for the pad to get clear. And then from that point on, it'll be, we'll just say 2 hours-ish, estimate around 2 hours. So we are at minimum looking at basically T plus 2 hours, but again, or T minus 2 hours, but again, they do have all the way until 5 o'clock local time. So that would be, you know, if you're familiar with 24-hour time, that'd be 17 local, or 5 o'clock local is how we'll be showing because we're putting it in the old 12-hour time thing. So yeah, so we're still we're waiting. This is the reason that we tried to not go live super early because we knew it was a milestone thing. We're waiting for pad to clear, waiting for events before we really bother streaming. So did you get it? Right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So yeah, it was. Let's see here. This thing's getting hot and spicy. All right. Let's see here. Where were we? I'm trying to catch up. I'm not seeing half of these. Well, let's just try this. Klaus, there we go. That's working. As a Brazilian, I appreciate everything that Americans are doing in space engineering. Thank you for all the information that you guys are giving to us. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, currently the United States definitely, you know, did a lot of impressive engineering work, and that's continued to push everyone forward, especially right now. SpaceX is definitely moving the ball forward a lot. It's making a lot of other companies, other countries even have to step up the game. You know, there's definitely been a lot of talk from China, from Russia, into making improvements to try to compete with SpaceX because it is, at this point, they are already way ahead. The Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy is already still way ahead of anything else. 5 years, like 5 years ahead now, and it still will be 2-3 years before I think anything competes. So an 8-year lead, and Starship is developing at a rapid pace. I mean, Starship is developing like we've never seen before. So yeah, it is insane, and it is inspirational. I hope that causes other countries, other companies, everyone else around the world to continue to push forward and accelerate their progress, their programs. You know, again, as a card-carrying member of Team Space, I just want everyone to actually see this as a good thing, and just keep the ball rolling. You know, we see a lot of rapid iteration and development from Rocket Lab. I think they're a perfect example of seeing success in, say, the reusability sector something that wouldn't have been done, would have been probably too scary to pursue a few years ago, and now they're pursuing it. That's awesome. We love to see that. We absolutely love to see that. Same with, of course, ULA will be eventually pursuing reuse of the engines for their Vulcan rocket. New Glenn will be pursuing full first stage reuse right off the bat on its first launches. So it's definitely moving the bar. Andres, thank you so much for the membership. Michael, thank you for the membership. Sorry, I might be missing some super chats here, and if I do, I'll have to get back to you guys. But yeah, I might be missing a few here. Jason says these are the things that people are these are the things that people that are anti-space need to learn and learn again and again. Even if you don't agree with the mission, the amazing items that come from intellectual properties to do it can change the world. You're absolutely right. There's so many trickle down, even forget any of the physical materials. The idea that for the Apollo program, the number of STEM fields like tripled or quadrupled, STEM graduates, tripled or quadrupled or something like that during the 1960s and 70s. So therefore, the United States all of a sudden had this wealth of educated people, and we had this huge tech boom. That's when the PC computers, PC computing came out. But all these new, the whole Silicon Valley boom, because there's all of a sudden this pool of talent and pool of education because of aerospace. I really think if the Apollo program hadn't happened, if we had not started a space program, I think we'd be 20 years, 30 years behind in computing right now, and like we wouldn't have personal devices still. That it's just that it's that exponential growth and tripling the people that are capable of developing things. That's one way to speed things up. Yeah, absolutely. And same with SpaceX right now, and same with the aerospace as a whole today. Still, even if someone doesn't necessarily ever go directly into the aerospace field, seeing this awesome stuff happen, seeing what humans can do when you're trying to do something really hard at the cutting edge that requires an insane amount of dedication, hard work, and education. Oh, they're going to go out and they're going to work harder. They're going to focus on their education. They're going to focus on their personal, on becoming a better, more educated, more dedicated person themselves and enter the workforce that way. And that even happens globally. So I think I hear so many people saying, I changed my field, or I'm going back to school to become an engineer. I'm changing my major right now to become an engineer. And that's what it's all about. That's 100% what it's all about. This is from C. Seva Delman. Thank you for the membership. Ben Wallace. Thanks, Tim, for all you do. Hoping to share this historic event with my twin 3-year-old nieces. That's awesome. Can you say hi to Addie and Quinn? Hello, Addie and Quinn. Sitting here with my new Black Friday nominal hat and full flow stage combustion cycle mug. Thank you. Thank you for, of course, hanging out with your family, bringing kids and getting them excited about the spaceflight event. Hopefully, we don't just totally. They might need a nap time. I might need nap time. Andrew definitely needs nap time. The whole crew, everyone's going to need nap time in a second before this finally ramps up, because we're still going to be waiting for at least 2 hours. Just to reiterate, for those of you that are just now tuning in, it's going to be at least 2 hours before this thing happens. So get the blankets ready, get the pillow comfy, set an alarm, check in 2 hours. I mean, there's at this point, I don't see any way that it physically can't. It will not happen within 2 hours. I'm just absolutely letting you know that now. This is from Eric saying, "Don't get sunburned. I really need to go find sunscreen when we get out of here." That's something that we hadn't quite prepared for yet. Thank you, though. Mark, thank you for the membership. This is from Riggs. I think we will all miss these days in the future. Ace time for us space fans. You are, I keep thinking that we keep talking about that here. It's unbelievable that we have this kind of access to this big of a development. Normally this stuff is all done behind closed doors, inside of secure bases and NASA facilities, or Air Force bases and stuff like that. The general public cannot physically see it, can't go drive by it, I'll tell you that. The general public's not going to be able to drive next to any other rocket I know of, yet the general public can quite literally, not today, but on days when there's a road opening, you can drive past and up to and be closer than, as a credentialed member of the press, than I've ever been to a Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, Atlas V. Well, I've gotten right up underneath an Atlas V, so I can't say that not as close as an Atlas V. I've gotten closer to Starship than I've gotten to a Delta IV Heavy. It's unbelievable. And the general public can get access to that because of the weird situation of this development program being out here on Boca Chica Beach outside of Brownsville, Texas. It's just, it's wild. It's something like this has never been done before. Something like this may likely never be done again because it's a nightmare as far as zoning and restrictions and permissions and who has what with the FAA and the exclusion zones and the public space, private space. There's still private property around it. It's just the weirdest situation I think we could ever have dreamt up in the world. But for now, it's absolutely something to cherish, 100%. Mark, thank you for the membership. I appreciate that. David Knapp, thank you for the membership. This is from Chunk Monk. Please say happy birthday to my dad, Jimmy Saville. Hello, Jimmy Saville. Happy birthday. Hopefully you get 3 beautiful, bright, full flow stage combustion cycle candles on your birthday. We all hope that. We all are really hoping for that. Andreas says, what is the idea behind exactly 12.5 kilometers of altitude? Why not 13? So they take a lot of things into consideration. You know, when they're applying for an FAA license, the FAA looks at their flight plan, looks at the risk of altitude, how far it could glide if it went out of control, what the debris field would look like at certain altitudes, how much propellant would need to be inside the vehicle in order to get to said altitude. Therefore, how big is its blast radius if it doesn't even make it off the pad? You know, looking at things like upper level winds, how fast is the direction of winds at certain, because jet streams are powerful things. And if you get to a certain layer, you might hit a jet stream that could literally push it a substantial amount. So there's all of these considerations, and at some point it looks like the FAA and SpaceX came to a conclusion that 12.5 was, for whatever reason, a better option than 15. According again to Declan Murphy, FlightClub.io's simulations that he's been running, he thinks it will go supersonic while ascending. Again, rockets always do that, but the sonic boom is traveling with the vehicle, so it goes with the direction of travel, so we will likely not hear that down here. But that might have been a consideration, is even if it got higher, falling, would there be sonic booms? That's something they would like to avoid. So there's all sorts of little considerations. For whatever reason, they wound up at 12.5. This is from Joffrey, says, hello from Disney World. Keep up the great work. That's awesome, Joffrey. Enjoy your time at Disney World. Simon, hi, Tim. Please, can you say happy birthday to my brother, Liam? Happy birthday, Liam. Liam, again, hope you get some beautiful Raptor candles for your birthday. Thanks for tuning in. Andrew Paris, thank you so much. We will immediately take good use. We've already had to extend our stay multiple times, so I really, really, really appreciate the tip. You are awesome. That is very, very nice. Payham says, this rocket is ugly and ugly rockets don't fly. Remember H1. What do you mean? What are you First off, I don't think this rocket's ugly. I think this rocket's gorgeous. This rocket is literally going to fly. Like, it will fly, if not today, likely tomorrow or the next day. I mean, it is going to fly. This is the very iterative. There are literally, there's a whole production facility of these things rolling out. This is further along than almost any other paper rocket ever gets, you know. So we're going to see it fly. We're going to see it fly often. We might see lots of failures, and we'll see them figure it out, and it is going to be awesome.
Also, ugly rockets definitely fly.
Yeah, Andrew says ugly rockets also definitely do fly. Yeah, you're right, 100%. Yeah, Scott Manley has an awesome video about ugly rockets from the past. I mean, even look at I think one of the ugliest was the one of the original Atlases with that ugly bumper, the course. What was that upper stage? It was really, really properly ugly. Really ugly. I mean, it was like, had this like Q-tip on the top of it. No, thank you. The Soyuz is actually one of the most gorgeous, ugly vehicles in the world. I think it's stunning. In other ways, it's ridiculously ugly too, because it's just so, you know, it's got lattice structures and just kind of looks unfinished and kind of unsymmetrical feeling. It's not a traditional looking rocket, but I think it is honestly one of the best looking rockets ever. But it's also, to the eye of the beholder, might be a really ugly rocket. Yeah, there's been a lot. The Delta III, that was properly ugly. That was a Delta IV upper stage on a Delta II rocket, so it tapered up huge. It was ridiculous looking. Ugly rockets definitely fly, 100%. This is, what are they serving from the bar during the flight? I don't know. The Tiki bar down there will definitely be closed because that is inside the exclusion zone. there's very few people on base properly at SpaceX, at the build facility, to minimize risk. There's probably only the absolute smallest number of people there, likely, I don't know, 10 to 15 people, very minimal crew to run operations, just to minimize risk. They are over 2 miles, so 3.2 kilometers away. They're far enough away that they're outside of the highest risk areas, but it is definitely risky to still be inside that. So, Blame Techie says, small contribution to the Mars Travel Fund or just coffee. It will go to coffee because I don't want to go to Mars. Don't make me go to Mars, anybody. Don't make me do it. But thank you very much, Blame Techie. I appreciate that. Craig Johnson, if this is a success, will they rename serial numbers as Buzz Lightyear as they will fall with style? Still think Miss Tree should be called Annette. And that's pretty good. That'd be pretty great, actually, yeah. It's not flying, it's falling with style. That'd be great. Hector says, odds of Elon showing up for a post-hop interview tonight, then crashing on your hotel room couch. Very unlikely. 100% unlikely. Like, that won't happen. So, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Of course, that's what's been happening every night out here. No, it's we're still hoping to be connecting some point after. We haven't even, if it would have happened, to be able to have time with Elon and do an interview or a tour, we haven't almost had any downtime, believe it or not. For the past week since we've been out here, it's been set up tests, set up other things, run around. We've visited the Walmart 100 times now. Yeah. It would have been really a lot more stressful if it had been beforehand. But I think if it happens in the next couple days after whatever happens here with seal number 8, that would be a lot more advantageous. So, Sean Brand says, a little love for an ASTP fan. Keep up the great work. What's ASTP again? That sounds Amy Shearer title. AST, I know that, but what's ASTP? Someone help me. Someone help me in Discord. I'm looking to you, Discord. Discord, remind me. Oh, yeah. I need more sleep. Yeah. Apollo Soyuz, July 17th, 1975, my favorite mission, and I couldn't even I need to sleep, I guess. That's the official Tim, you need more sleep. Is when I can't even think of my favorite mission. Wow. That does it for that does it right there, my friends. Adam says, have you heard anything on SpaceX Cocoa, Florida site? Huge fan, by the way. Thank you, Adam. The way we see it is like they want to solve it here first. They want to get it to the point of like, we know how to build these, we know how to fly these. Once we know how to build and fly these things, let's build a new factory out at Cocoa. Let's build a factory anywhere Starship will be flying, which might be more here. It might be out at sea launch platforms here. It might be at Kennedy Space Center. Wherever it flies, they'll just basically repeat what they learned here or expand on what they learned here. But as far as new updates, I think everything's just here. Everything's here at Boca Chica. Everything is, let's focus on this. And yeah. This is from Rob's Sunday. Have you been keeping up with Apollo 50th over on Twitter? I have not, no. Yeah, it'd still be the 50th anniversary of a couple other missions, but yeah. We still have another 2 years of Apollo, I guess. Yeah, I haven't really kept up on it lately. I was paying really close attention to it during the 50th of Apollo 11, but since then I haven't really, haven't really been tuned in. But that's something to probably check in on. Andrew Parent says, have we procured the proper test ruminants? We can't proceed without proper specifications. No, we're waiting. We're not even going to get to the rocket orientation until we see some substantial progress that they're ready to actually attempt something today. This is from, I probably won't say that, but thanks for all the hard work from you and your team over the years. Will landing, flip, and burn use 3 Raptors or just 1? We don't actually know the number, but we've seen some speculation from Declan with Flight Club that 2 actually looks like a really solid number as far as having redundancy plus the right thrust to weight ratio plus the right amount of torque on the flip. It looks like 2 is probably what's a pretty safe bet. I know that seems weird. One seems like it'd be a lot longer, less efficient landing burn. It'd have to start a lot higher. 2 seems right about on the money. 3 seems like it's even at minimum throttle, quite a lot higher everything. 2 really seems like the magic number. Hey, is that the Coast Guard? That'd be pretty cool if that's a Coast Guard ship. Kind of looks like it, right? Let's find out. Jared Mosier or Mosier says, thanks for setting this up for us. My 3-year-old wants to know if the rocket is going to launch someday. Someday, yes. Hopefully today. We are still, we have no reason to think not today yet. We don't also have any reason to think that we don't think it's scrubbing. Just to reiterate, no reason to think it's scrubbed. No reason to think it won't launch today, but it will definitely be later in the window than I think most people had thought. So just a little heads up. David Swenson, thanks, Tim, for all you do. Go get yourself and the team some coffee and donuts. Thank you, David. Really, you don't know what that what that means right now with the lack of sleep we've all had and the sleepless nights and just the long hours. Yeah, that really, really, really means a lot. So thank you, David. What was that? Oh, just a Texas flag, not a Coast Guard. Oh, it looks Coast Guard-y kind of. Thank you. Everyone say thank you to David because, yeah, that goes a long way for us. Thank you. Chris, sunscreen immediately, reapply often. Texas sun is brutal. Yeah, that's a great idea. I should even, stand. I'm totally in the shade, I think. At least, yeah. That's a really good, we absolutely will. My mom would be very upset if I wasn't sunscreened up. Thank you, Chris. Eric says, do you think they will test the control surfaces before launch? I think they will definitely move into place because right now they are not in the launch orientation. They are going to be unfolded during launch. I'm 99% sure based on everything SpaceX has ever released, and based again on the fact that when the nose fins are actually tucked in, they're not tucked in parallel to the wind stream. If they were tucked in totally parallel and remaining 90 degrees up, they could probably launch tucked. That's what I used to think would happen. I definitely thought that would be what they would want to do to remove a little bit of the torque from the aero surfaces. But the top ailerons or fins are actually at an angle, so they would put a lot of torque and have a really bad aerodynamic quality to them if they were tucked in on a sense. So we're pretty sure everything will be extended, and they will have to remove the flap straps before that happens, which might be what they've been working on here. So that's a pretty good sign. There's always money in the banana stand. Thank you, Lauren. There's always money in the banana stand. Absolutely right. From Tim Coddington, Dragon 2 solar array. How are they able to use less surface area now? New panel technology or electrical use efficiency? Potentially a mix of both. I don't know. Is there less surface area on Dragon 2 trunk than there were Dragon 1's extendable solar panels? I don't know. I haven't heard that it's less. I think if someone does know, that'd be something interesting to see or to know for sure. But it's probably if it is less surface area, it's probably an exact mixture of slightly more efficient panels and more efficient use of electronics potentially too. Potentially. This is from Alfred. Alfred, thank you so much for the membership. Anthony, would love Anthony's didn't go through. Uh-oh, it's happening again. Is your phone working? Guys, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be... Oh, man. Did it work? Maybe it did. Let me try another one. But I'll read Anthony's anyway. Anthony M. Says, would love a big shout out to my sons, Charlie 13 and Jacob 8, here in Wales, UK, who are excited about Starship, the Moon, Mars, and beyond with SpaceX and your great videos and enthusiasm. Thank you, Anthony, for including your family in this. Charlie and Jacob, how's it going? Keep up whatever you're excited about. Keep that enthusiasm up because we're entering a new era here. This is literally the beginning of a new era that we can all look forward to. We can all witness. We can all cheer for together. So keep that enthusiasm up. This is just the beginning. There is a lot of really awesome things coming on the horizon. So thank you. Let's try Frederick. Did that work? I don't think it's working. It goes green here, but it's not on the screen.
Let me try.
Are you seeing it? Sorry, I don't think we'll have time to quite get through all the chats here because we are probably going to take a break for you guys, so that we're not just streaming nothingness, and then pop back on. That's what I think is going to happen. We'll probably unlist this one and then pull.
I don't know where Frederick is.
Well, there's a couple more that we have to get to, like David Brown. Still not working. If you happen to see David Brown, it's quite a ways up. David Brown, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is really, really, really generous. Y'all go grab some Whataburger taco palenque while you're waiting on me. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you're doing. Well, thank you very, 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 very much, David. That's quite literally what we'll do. We did happen to lose our... Is there something on the program that's like the... Yeah, sorry. We did happen to lose our little... super chat system. Sorry about that, David, but thank you. Everyone in chat say thank you to David. That really means a lot. Yeah, and also from OISIAA, thanks for doing this, Tim and crew. From Titan Miller, thank you, Titan Miller. Honey Badger Off-Road, again, I love the term Elanerons. Can you please use that more often? Did you get that? Did it work? Crap. Sorry. I love the term Elanerons. Can you use that term more often? Yes. Yes, we can. Let's see. This is an interesting question. Goat Pilot 04, is COVID-19 relief this year going to hurt NASA? I think, because of I could see it affecting the federal budget for sure. I think that we need to take care of people who are without pay. I think we need to be taking care of people that have lost work, take care of families, take care of the hungry, the sick, the needy. NASA, of course, I think has the most immense value of anything, but at the same time, when there's a pandemic and you have people literally dying and out of work and a shutdown economy, I think you got to take care of everyone first. And yeah, so I think the shuffling, personally, defense spending is 100 times more of NASA or 50 times more than NASA. You could easily remove a very, 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 very small fraction of defense funding, and it wouldn't, and you could make up for totally unfunding NASA for an entire year. Personally, I think right now we're fighting something that we could spend some of that defense money on, and unfortunately, also at the same time, though, like things like the National Guard are having to be utilized to be able to roll out certain things, and the defense spending is actually quite high right now too. I don't know. That's not my field. I shouldn't even comment on it beyond that. Other than saying it's a hard year. There's a lot of horrible sacrifices having to be made for everyone around the world, and I don't know the implications of what that all means. What that means to each individual. What that means to programs. What that means to the economy and the welfare of every human around the world. That's a very deep topic when you actually start to get into it. So. Yeah, I'm sorry to not have an answer, not answer. Oh, that's awesome. Jesse O says, waiting for my full flow stage combustion cycle hoodie and pointy end up shirt. Hopefully it gets to you pretty quick. We have a lot faster shipping than we ever had before. A lot of people got their, if they ordered on Friday, they got their stuff. I was seeing posts already on Sunday and Monday of people getting their merchandise already. So it was getting out there really, really quick. We were on it. So. Hopefully it makes it to you really quickly. It looks like you are international. So most stuff, it seems like internationally. I even saw people getting stuff middle of like 5 days later in Europe. So hopefully it gets to you depending on stuff. Yeah. Stefan says, reading the live stream YouTube chat now, I don't know how I managed so long without joining this Discord. Stefan, that's honestly, I know it seems like there's a paywall to Discord. And the main reason is to filter it out so you can actually still have a community to talk to. I don't think a wall of words is too much of a community that you can properly engage with. And it's not, if you have an open Discord channel, they're great, they're phenomenal. There's amazing communities out there, but it's hard to really have, you can have trolls just pop in, you can have spam pop in, you can have all these other, there's a lot of other things when you don't have it be a private community. There's a reason we do that. It's not to be greedy or anything. It's literally just that we have a high quality community that we keep close tabs on. We know each other. That's the whole point. There's tons of open public communities, and 99% of the time they either become over moderated or just a total mess of spam and hate and noise and all the stuff. And ours isn't. We have an amazing community, and we love it that way. So, yeah. If you want to join Discord, yes, patreon.com/everydayastronaut. It automatically links you. You can gain access to it right now. That also helps, obviously, support me and the team to be able to do what we're continuing to do. So if you want to help support what we do, patreon.com/everydayastronaut. All that gets dumped right back into making sure that we're doing everything we can to bring you guys the best things we can possibly bring you, period. The best. I don't care about timeliness. I care about quality. Quality over quantity, every day, all day. That's all that matters to me. Yeah. So let's see here. Thank you very much. I'm going to just try again, see if it happens to get lucky. Poop. Nope, we lost it. So I feel like there's some greetings from Brazil from Nicholas. Brian Clausen, excited to see this historic event. You and your Boca Chica elves are rocking it out. Thank you. There has been a lot of hard work here. I am definitely not alone in what I'm working on here. Again, I feel like I need to constantly say this. The brainchild of this live stream setup is 100% Andrew Taylor, who's been working behind the scenes on videos ever since, April, May? So big shout out, of course, to Andrew for joining the team and kicking butt. But also, of course, we have Cosmic Perspective, who's doing a lot of stuff with us. We're kind of doing partnership stuff. They are providing, they're going to be running the telescope feed for us today, the tracking telescope, but they also are out there just every day filming. The work they do is unlike anything I've seen. It's documentary style work. It's zen. It makes me happy. It makes me excited. It's gorgeous. Between their storytelling, their audio, their video, it's just wonderful work. So if you aren't following Cosmic Perspective on YouTube, find them on Twitter. Trust me, you're in for a treat. You really are. It's just wonderful. It's storytelling. It's rocket storytelling in the most brilliant way and most artistic and fashionable way. But of course, we S Padre Isles. So South Padre or Space Padre on Twitter. That's Rachel and Jean. You guys know them because they help us run the camera. They've been down here running around stuff 24/7 for us, literally 24/7, helping us get everything set up, accommodating, and just helping make things happen. So. They'll be running another tracking camera today. This is not just a me thing at all. This is a lot of people working, a lot of really dedicated people working really, really hard to make all this happen. So, I'll even, because of lack of sleep, I'm almost getting emotional thinking about how hard, and again, we're not the only team out here working our butts off. There's a lot of awesome people doing really cool things. Austin Bernard running around like a madman and truly just a wonderful person. If you ever get the chance to run into Austin, it'll make your day because he's just a great guy. But then, of course, all the NASA spaceflight crew, lots of them out here doing, again, top-notch work, as always. We always appreciate everything that they do, too. I mean, just wonderful, wonderful people, dedicated people, hardworking. Yeah, and then, we all, obviously all of us are benefiting greatly from Lab Padre's 24-hour camera that provides a feed that gives us views on what's happening at any time, and that's a huge value to the community. So it is a great community, and I'm so thankful for all of you watching, all of the other people that are doing hard work too, and of course, Boca Chica Mary. How can you forget all of her hard work with NASA Spaceflight too? So. Yeah, I feel like I got to get us out of here and get sunscreened up and get some food in us and all this stuff. I'm definitely missing some. Our chat system is down, so it's not working correctly. I wish that I could say get to every single one of these. Oh man, we had Kevin Coyle. OLF wasn't the same this week. Go Raptor. Sorry about that, Kevin. Thank you so much for your tip. I got to make sure I'm not missing any. You guys are awesome. I mean, those are really, 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 really generous. Kevin, thank you. What else am I missing here? There's too many. You guys are. David, I think, and Stephen Rose, thank you. Yeah, we're probably gonna shut down here since there's obviously crews on the lift. Again, just to reiterate, we are looking at no earlier than 2:30, 3 o'clock local. I would not even turn on a browser at this point until 2 p.m. Central. So that, by the way, 2 p.m. would be 14 plus 6. That'd be 20 UTC. 20 UTC. Don't even bother. We're going to tune out. We're going to even shut the stream down. We'll probably refire up an identical stream just so we have a fresh link for you guys so you know when we're going live. Unless, do you guys want me, do you need us to keep the feed up? Is that really what?
I think they're taking the chains off, by the way.
Oh. No, that's in the middle. That could be.
Well, Chris G tweeted that too.
Oh, cool. That view there, you know, they could also be checking valves. There's also flight termination system on this vehicle. They could be doing stuff with that as well. There's a lot of things that they could and probably are doing that we're not entirely aware of. So again, I'm terribly, terribly, terribly sorry. Like to Thomas Hinton saying, have a pizza party. Thank you, Thomas. There's a lot of people that I missed, I think. Anthony, thank you. Anthony Patterson, everybody. Again, I'm missing a couple of these. I don't want to, but our things all. People want it to be kept up. But if I keep it up, you're going to be seeing the same thing you're seeing on other feeds, and you won't have a good notification of when things are actually happening. And I think that's more important. What do you think? We could start a fresh one.
And then as soon as we go live on the other, we'll close this one.
What would that be? I did that once for something, and it really tanked, actually, because people just didn't go to the new one. So either we like totally shut it down, I think, or we... What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we're going to stop the stream because I want you to be able to see a YouTube notification. Come back to us when we have something to update you on. I think this is a crane camera at this point, and there's other crane cameras out there. So, yeah, I think this is our update that we could provide for you. Try to give you guys some insight, all the insight that we have. Make sure you know we're alive and okay. But we're gonna get fed up. Fed up. We're gonna get fed up. We're gonna get fed up. We're gonna get some food. We're gonna get sunscreened up. Yes, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Stay tuned. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Everyday Astronaut and on Instagram. Well, on Twitter it's technically at Everyday Astronaut, but if you search Everyday Astronaut, you'll find it. Everyday Astronaut. Spoiler: too long of a name. Instagram, Everyday Astronaut. Make sure you have the notification and the bell setting here on YouTube. Be sure to click that bell so you know when we go live again. That will be your indication that, hey, we think something's happening. We think they're going for it. And again, to reiterate, as far as we know right now, it is looking like, you know, we're at best 2 hours away. 20 UTC would be my minimum. We're coming up on, yeah. We're at 1833 UTC for those of you that don't know. So 2 hours from now, T-0 is unknown at this time, but we'll milestone based once we see the cranes come down, once we see all that stuff clear out, we'll be in a better place. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much. I'm, again, sincerely, absolutely mortified that there's some super chats that we missed. But thank you. Oh, this is, like, again, from Herman. Do you remember when I asked you to say Bibby 3 years ago? I don't actually remember that. I don't. Herman, thank you, though, for your chat. I really, really, really appreciate that. That's going to do it for me. Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth and serial number 8 to your eyeballs. We will be back up with a fresh stream as soon as something is worth streaming. That is your update. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Bye, guys.
You an outro?
No, just go ahead and cut my camera, I guess. Bye, guys.